Hey everyone, I'm Russ.
I am Mark.
And this is a spirited endeavor.
Prime in the Pump edition.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to do something a little different.
Yeah, this is kind of a special episode for us.
I know. We're going to do maybe a series of these where we're doing a side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, it was, we had so much fun doing it with the laws, and then we've done a couple since then, so yeah.
Yeah, so fun stuff. So it got us to thinking, there's two special editions that just were released of Islay scotches. One of which is the made by Ardbeg called the Ardcore.
Yeah.
Now this is black barley, and they say it's been roasted with an inch of its life.
Yep.
So that is going to be smoky, peaty, probably like we've not seen from Ardbeg, or at least that's what they're promising with this.
I hope. I'm kind of, that's my expectation.
Yeah, it's mine too. And the second one is Lagavulin just put out a new Nick Offerman edition.
Yeah.
And this one is also charred.
Yeah, severely charred is what I hear.
That's what we understand. So we thought there would be a fun comparison to do the two that are heavily charred, heavily peated, and just put them side by side, and let's let them duke it out.
Well, what I think is going to be interesting is generally Lagavulin the peat presents one way, and with Ardbeg the peat is completely different in the way that it presents. So I'm kind of curious to see how these two handle it.
Yeah, for sure. Now Ardbeg is usually really meaty, and it's like a ham bone, that kind of thing. Where Lagavulin can sometimes be more like campfire and ashy.
Yeah, campfire, ashy, seaside, briny, iodine, all the stuff that you come to expect.
Yeah. So. All right, so let's get into this. Now, both of these are 46% ABV, and I think we're going to start with the Lagavulin.
Yeah, it's funny. Normally we use the ABV to figure out which one's going to be the first in a run. And obviously was eeny, meeny, miny, mo tonight. Oh my. You can smell it.
Right. So I have expectations every time there's a Lagavulin and every time there's an Ardbeg.
You got that.
Let's see where we're at with this.
Yeah.
I mean, because right now, that's kind of dark.
A little bit. Now, Lagavulin doesn't say that they've been known to add color, which that's fine. I don't know if this is natural or not, but what I can say is the oils are absolutely impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real thick oils.
Yeah, you could lube your car with that.
Yeah. And a pretty viscous whiskey, actually.
Yeah, that's got beautiful action in the glass.
Yeah, it does. I expect this one will have a really nice long finish on it. Yeah. Okay,
I haven't smelled that in a while.
Mm-hmm. And it's Lagavulin, straight up.
It's straight up Lagavulin. So you're getting the brine. You're certainly getting the peat smoke. Not as in your face as I would have expected, or maybe what they've sold us, saying that this is super heavy. But I mean, it's very pleasant.
It is. It's for me, Lagavulin always reminds me of like a seaside campfire.
Yes.
And this one's not disappointing in that regard. Now, what I was kind of looking for was, again, this is a lot to do with the barrel char, so I'm looking for some oak on the nose or something like that, and can't say really getting it.
Yeah. Now there is a little char. I mean, I get like a little charcoal.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, brine.
Not getting like lumberyard though.
Yeah. Not like that at all. More charcoal.
Yeah.
Like a little campfire, like you're out and you just lit off your grill.
Yeah.
You
got the coals at the bottom of the pit.
Yeah, a little bit of that, a little sweetness in there. Yeah, but I think that's more like an oaky sweetness rather than like a vanilla sweetness.
I would agree. Yeah, I'm not really getting a vanilla sweetness out of that. It's pleasant nose though.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, shall we?
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Found it.
There's the charcoal.
Wow. And the charcoal really kind of tamps down the typical Lagavulin flavors.
It does. I mean, you're getting the char of the barrel coming through loud and clear on this one.
God, I feel like I just licked the inside of a stave.
Yeah, it really is like that. There's a nice oakiness to it. You're getting the charred bits for sure. It's not ashy though, which I really appreciate. Now there's a nice sweetness in there too,
and that picks up on the second sip. That's nice. Yeah, it's interesting. It's literally like somebody took Lagavulin and ran it through charcoal filter. It took some of the edges off that I was kind of looking for, but it did impart an oakiness and definitely a charcoal nature to it. Now, I wouldn't say it's ashy, but there's definitely kind of a charcoal nature to it, certainly. But there is a real nice sweetness on the palate.
This is a well put together whiskey.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something smoky and like peaty and earthy, this is your whiskey.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree with that. If you don't like oak and you're not big into barrel char, then this is definitely not the one for you. But for me, this is fine.
What I'm not getting on this is any type of fruit or,
no.
I mean, not even just sort of. I mean, this is all business. This is all oak and barrel influence and char, and it is quite tasty.
Yeah, and I can't even say there's like a vanilla nature to it. There is a sweetness, but I can't really place it or tie it to any particular thing.
Yeah, I think it's just more like a simple syrup kind of sweetness. Yeah. Just it's sweet and there's no discernible direction in it.
No, I would agree with that.
It's not honey. It's not maple. It's not anything like that. Not vanilla.
Yeah, no, I would certainly agree with that. Well, I guess that brings up the question based on what we've experienced. What do you think? 1 to 5?
You know what? I'm going to go 3.5 on it.
I think I'm with you on that one. While I enjoy it, I think the last Offerman edition kind of set the bar pretty high.
Yeah, that was a fabulous whiskey, and I think it offered more depth than this one.
I would agree with that.
I think this is more of a one-trick pony with the char, with the barrel, and we've said those words like 50 times since we started this, so I get that. But I mean, it's a great whiskey. I'm really enjoying it. I wanted to give it a 4, but I couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, well, and I think the part that disappoints me a little bit is the last Offerman edition, you still had the essence of Lagavulin.
Yes.
But then you had some additional sweetness as a result of the Guinness cask. This one, some of what makes Lagavulin special is kind of masked by all the char.
Yeah. And
I'm not getting what I was really looking for out of it. But that said, do enjoy it. Really nice. 3.5 is a solid score, I think.
I think so too. Okay, well let's cleanse here real quick. Because
time for the Ardcore.
Yes. Love that sound.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's almost clear.
Yeah, and that's something about Ardbeg. They do not add color, and they do not chill filter. So what you see is what you get. So yeah, very light.
Very light.
A little bit of a yellow tinge to it, but very, very light.
Not quite as oily as the Lagavulin.
I would agree 100% with that. The oils are a little bit thinner.
Yeah, the whiskey itself is thinner.
Yeah. Oh, certainly.
Yeah, I mean it's got nice oils, but it like the Lagavulin was like sheets of oil and it just clung there for days.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Yeah, this isn't quite up to that.
Makes me wonder what the finish is going to be like. Now, the Lagavulin does have an 11-year age statement. The Ardbeg does not have an age statement, so this may be a younger whiskey.
Yeah, now the Lagavulin had kind of a nice finish. It didn't, it just sort of just lasted forever.
Yes.
It was a beautiful finish to that whiskey, I gotta admit that.
Yeah, no, it had really good mouthfeel on it. Again, it was a very viscous whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
that's
is
surprising.
that's much softer on the nose than I anticipated.
Yeah, I was really expecting to get clubbed over the head by this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's called the Ardcore. I mean, and I'm getting peat. I'm getting some smoke on there, but it's almost like an undercurrent of it.
It's faint.
It's faint.
I mean, you can put your nose right in that glass, and you have to hunt a little bit.
Now, it does have a nice sweetness to it. Again, it's like a simple syrup kind of sweetness.
Yeah.
To the nose. I'm not picking up any discernible fruit or, any type of like sugary notes that are, lead me in any particular direction.
Yeah, I would say the nose is definitely lacking complexity. There's not a whole lot going on there. And it's definitely much milder than like the Ardbeg 12.
Right. Or the Scorch, which was...
that's also true, yeah.
Yeah, the Scorch had a nice... but it was also something that sort of was a little tamer on the nose than I expected, and then punched you right in the roof of the mouth.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see what happens as far as the palate's concerned. I'm expecting a bit more there.
Yeah, okay. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
Took a minute.
It did.
That's kind of interesting. So the initial palate, I'm thinking, okay, it's a lot like the nose. This is real tame. This is real subtle. And then there's like this wave that hits. Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, I mean, that was just like, flavor explosion there.
Yeah, it's funny how it was asleep at first, though. That just, wow.
Yeah, that was really interesting. So, very few whiskeys that we have that sort of hold back and then just club you right from the inside, like you swallowed a grenade.
Yeah, second sip's the same way.
Yeah.
Initially, not a whole lot going on, and then there's just this wave of flavor that comes over. Now, I will say, plenty of barrel. Lots of barrel on this one. And this is like walking through a lumber yard. This is like licking an oak plank. Definitely get a little bit of that barrel spice. You get a little bit of that dry nature on the tongue, I'm noticing.
Yes.
It is a thin whiskey on the palate, though, I will say.
It is, but it lingers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's lingering. Well, it gets a late start, too, so it's going to be a late finish, I think.
Yeah, but you're definitely getting the peat and the the smoke on that. It is... I mean, that is charred within an inch of its life.
It really is.
It really is.
That's the star of the show, is the barrel on this one.
Yeah.
I don't think the peat necessarily is the star of the show. It's a nice counterpoint, don't get me wrong, but I think the barrel is really what hits hardest.
Yeah, for sure. Now I've not come across black barley before, so I'm not sure what that brings to the table on this, but...
Well, I'm afraid that some of what that might bring is kind of masked by the oak.
Yeah, kind of with you on that. But it's quite tasty. I immediately like this more than the Lagavulin.
Well, this is more oak and less charcoal, in my opinion. Now, interesting. Third sip, the sweetness kicks up a little bit. Okay, still lots of oak, but the sweetness came in along with it. And I'm enjoying that. I wouldn't say the first sip I would really call that a sweet whiskey, but now we're getting there.
Yeah, but what I would say about this is that, again, like the other one, it's a little bit more of a one-trick pony.
I would agree.
There's not a lot of complexity and depth in that.
I think there is a little bit more going on with the Ardbeg than there was with the Lagavulin, because I'm starting to get just little whiffs of chocolate on the exhale through the sinuses, but it's not blatant. There are some whiskeys where it's obvious. This one, it was just kind of a whiff of it.
Yeah, I think the char is kind of taken over with me. So yeah, I could see that, but I'm not getting that experience with it.
I will say that honestly, the term that comes to mind when I find something that is that is in one particular direction like that, whether it's oak or it's char or whatever, and it's overpowering, is it's kind of a one-trick pony kind of gimmicky type thing where, hey, look, we're going to put out something that's super charred, and that's really the only thing that makes it special.
Right. And I mean, it's a great whiskey, and I think I'm going to revisit this one again at another point. I might put it up against the Scorch, or maybe even the 10-year, just to do some comparison that way. You know, putting these two side by side, I think was fantastic, because I think what we found too is they're both of these are similar in their approach.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we would have lost that if we didn't put them up side by side.
I would agree wholeheartedly. Certainly. And my comment was not to disparage them or anything of that nature. I mean, I enjoy both of them, but again, I do feel that the barrel is really the star of the show in both cases.
In both cases. I mean, yeah, I think these are very comparable whiskeys.
Yeah, I would agree. Now, I'm with you. I would be curious to see the Ardbeg kind of put up against the 10-year age statement and see what that's all about. The Lagavulin, I'm pretty sure what direction that's going to go. It's kind of a known commodity.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Well, score 1 to 5 on the Ardbeg. What are you thinking?
I'm also thinking 3.5, but I think I like it more than the Lagavulin.
There are aspects of each of them that I like. I kind of wish the Ardbeg had a little bit more viscosity to it, a little bit more in the way of oils. I did enjoy that aspect of the Lagavulin, but I think flavor-wise, the Ardbeg perhaps has a little bit more going on.
Yeah, and the Lagavulin sticks around a little bit longer. Yes. Yeah, and I think that's just sort of the nature of that whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, what a fun comparison, though.
Really was. Both of them very unique, very different compared to what you would normally get from their from each distillery. So it's certainly coloring outside the lines, as they say. Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. I hope you had a good time.
We sure did. We'll catch you on the next one.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Huh. That was a bit surprising, actually.